What is up, you guys? Pete DiCarlo here, and I have an amazing video for you. Something that I've wanted to do for a very long time, and that is to teach you guys how to turn $300 a month into $1 million bucks. Yep, that easily. No, I mean, it's much harder than that, but it really isn't at all. Compounding interest is how most people gain wealth in this world. It's how my grandparents did it. It's how a lot of people do it. You don't have to build $1 million business or own hundreds of million dollars worth of real estate to retire with $1 million, because that's what we're talking about. Now, if you want to use more than $300 a month, you can become a millionaire much, much quicker. The analogy that I like to use is that it only takes one tiny spark to ignite an entire wildfire. Well, I don't really want to get destructive, but it's a good way to look at it in my opinion. Because compounding interest in the beginning, $300 a month, is not a lot of money. After 1 year, it really won't amount to that much. But after 20, 30, 40 years, it'll be like a big, beautiful wildfire. Well, I guess some people might think that's beautiful, I do, but it'll be like a huge spread out wildfire full of money for your retirement. But the most important thing is that spark and a good environment to create wealth. There are three components to compounding interest: time, the amount of money that you invest, and your return. All three of those things will equal your wealth within a given amount of time. The reason I want to use $300 a month is because I believe it's obtainable. A lot of these gurus and a lot of these money people online, want to sell you day trading. They want to sell you real estate flipping courses, which is completely fine because I do most of that. But what I'm trying to share with you is how to not get rich quick, but how to get rich 100% for sure. And with this plan, anybody can. It doesn't matter how much money you make. Even if you only make 25 grand a year, but you live way below your means and you're happy, that's all that matters. Now, starting tomorrow, you can set aside $300 a month, or even better, $600 or $900 a month. This is a great compounding interest calculator that I like to use, and it's on MoneyChimp, and I'll link it below. Think of it this way. This is how we're gonna fill this out, okay? All you have at this point is $300, and every single month, we're going to add $300. So 300 times 12 months means that your annual addition is $3,600, and we're going to give this 40 years to grow, which means I will be 70 years old at this point. For an interest rate, we're going to use an average of 8%, which is most of the time, historically, what the S&P 500 will yield. And we're going to allow this to compound one time annually. And if you hit calculate, there you go. Off of $300, you can make $1 million by the end of your retirement. I mean, at 70 years old, just by $300 a month, you can have $1 million. That's powerful. Now, let's say you're going to do, $600 a month, right? Come over to a hefty calculator. 600 times 12 means annually we will be adding $7,200. Boom. $2 million. Now, let's say every single year, you make good money, and you have $100,000 that you get paid every single year. And it takes about, let's say it would take $30,000 out for taxes. That's $70,000, and you can live off of $40,000 a year, which I feel that most people can if you look at your life and see, what do you really need? That's $30,000 left over. So let's say that even if you start with nothing and you're able to somehow save $30,000 a year, boom. Honestly, at this point, I can just stop the video because you all will become millionaires if you just implement it. And it's that simple. It really is that simple to just take $300 a month, a car payment, right? And just put it into a Robinhood account under SPY or SPHD. And now, yeah, you're not gonna get 8% returns every year. actually, if you look at the S&P 500 over the past 5 years, which we've been in like an amazing bull market, you would have made 10%. In the past 5 years, the S&P 500 has averaged 10% returns. That's more than what I said. Now, for most people, that's great, and they're gonna be happy with that. But some people are gonna be like, Pete, not everybody has $300 a month extra. Some of us live paycheck to paycheck, and that's fine. But you have to think to yourself, how can you? It's not like I can't make $300 a month extra so that I can put it in an account. It's how can I? And that's what I want to go over now. Let's say you make $2 grand a month and your bills only come to be $1,300 a month, right? But you're just terrible with money. Say you get paid every 2 weeks, have a broker on that Friday or Wednesday or whenever you get paid, have that broker automatically take $150 out a week. Boom. Just like taxes, that money comes out, you never see it, you can't spend it. The next thing I would look at are your monthly expenses that are not like, you know, your car, your gas, your insurance, your housing, any of that. What I like to use is an app called Truebill. They're not sponsoring this, I don't care, like, I just tell you guys what I use because I love it. And the most astonishing thing that you will find out through Truebill, which I did, is just how much money you blow in subscriptions. Like for me, it was, you know, $20 a month for a car wash, $8 a month for Microsoft Word, $35 a month for Adobe, you know, like Netflix, YouTube TV, all of this stuff that's just like $5, $10, $15 a month adds up to be like $150, $200 a month, and most of the stuff you don't even use. The next thing is to get a side hustle or a side job. And for all of you who don't know, I have a public account that I trade stocks with that's in my group. You can add yourself down below. A private account that I used for myself, and a very small Webull account with like $1,400 in it that I started a couple weeks ago. With that account, I'm not allowed to fund any of my own money into that account. That account is simply for this. And guess what I did? I got a side hustle. I don't have to do it. I started driving Uber. It's terrible. Driving Uber Eats is horrible. But I'm doing it for a couple hours on the weekends to make that $300, $400 extra a month so that nobody can be like, well, Pete, you trade stocks, you make money, you do this. Like, no. I literally am driving crappy Uber Eats to do this. So if I can do it and I don't have to do it, I'm sure you can do it. And I don't mean this in like an aggressive manner like people are lazy, but it's just like if you prioritize your life, it's insane what kind of stuff happens. There are a lot of side jobs out there. You can drive Uber, you can deliver pizza. It's not glamorous. You can walk people's dogs, clean houses, like do whatever you want. You can even flip stuff on Facebook. Like I've done that too. There's a lot of ways to make extra money, especially with the internet. Now that you've been able to save your money, stop spending it on dumb stuff, make extra money, and you're ready to invest, I want to go over how exactly you can get the best returns and how much effort you think you want to put into this. Because honestly, if you don't want to have anything to do with this, but you want to be a millionaire, just take the $300 a month, put it in the S&P 500, put it in, you know, SPY, VOO, a Vanguard index fund, whatever it is. You can just do that. That's perfectly fine. But if you want to do something a little more hands-on, what I like is to pick individual stocks. And if you look at most individual stocks, they have grown much more than the S&P 500. Like Amazon alone in the past 5 years have grown 450%. Not every stock you pick is gonna do that, but that's almost 10 times what the S&P 500 has done. That's almost 10 times what I averaged in a year for that compounding interest calculator. And like I said before, that's not gonna happen with everything. You might buy something, think it's a good idea, and it ends up dying. But the point is that it's very easy to average these 8, 10, 12% returns every year in the market. And that's why I teach it. That's why I have a whole YouTube channel and an Instagram around this, which you should go follow me, Peter_DeCarlo. But the point that I'm trying to make is that this is all easy. It's literally the easiest thing that you could do. It's just implementing it. And most people don't even think that it works just because of how easy it is. Because you're not gonna make money instantly. But I'd rather make money for sure. And going back to picking individual stocks, you don't even have to, you know, do deep dives on these biopharmaceutical companies or these semiconductors and all these high risk, high growth stocks. You can just buy something in the FAANG. And for those of you who don't know what FAANG is, it's just Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. And all of those have had way higher returns than the S&P 500 in the past 5 years. Other companies that are gigantic and obviously not going out of business are good starter companies are like Boeing, Pepsi, McDonald's, Procter & Gamble, Microsoft, all of these conglomerate blue chip stocks. And I'm gonna make a video in the future teaching you guys how to look at these companies, analyze them, and then put them in your long-term portfolio. Another way, if you wanna sprinkle a little bit of zest into your portfolio, what I consider something a little higher risk. This could be something like an Uber or a Tesla or an AMD or a Skyworks Solutions. Riskier companies that aren't, like OTC penny stocks, but that don't have the big backing that these other companies have and the proof of concept to know that they're not going to go out of business in 5 or 10 years. What I will do in the future is actually teach you how to build a portfolio like this, how to build a portfolio and diversify with, index funds, big companies such as Boeing and all that, and also sprinkling in a little bit of fun like the AMDs, the Ubers, and the Teslas. But what I really made this video for is for you guys to just start. Like, I'm 30, right? If I would have started 10 years ago, I would be way more ahead of the game than I am right now. And not to discourage anybody, it's something that I forgot, is this is if you're 30. If you're 40, if you're 50, if you're 60, I'm not gonna say that you're screwed. I'm just gonna say that you're going to have to throw a lot more money per month in order to see where you will be in the future. So just start. Like I'm begging you. Turn this video off. Write down all of your income, all of your expenses. Find out how you will get that $300 a month. Even if it's $100, even if it's $50 a month, $50 a month, right? Start. It's all about starting. Just start to build your future and take this compounding interest calculator that I'll link below. Play with it yourself. See how it becomes fun. See how much if you could put $2 grand a month into that. See how much you would end up with in 40 years. It's insane. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. Let me know what videos you want to see in the future, and have a good weekend.